you have discovered through the expansion of the internet world. I am Johnny Allen, and this is the Johnny Allen 30-Minute Podcast. We're going to be talking about your life, my life, and the world today. So sit back, relax, grab something if you need it, and let's do this. All right, the podcast does start now. I am the host of this podcast. I'm Johnny Allen. Welcome to the Johnny Allen 30-Minute Podcast. First of all, it's Tuesday, September the 19th, 2023. It has been a long time since I've done the podcast. So first of all, I want to just apologize for that. And I will explain a little bit why I've been gone. So without further ado, let's do it. Thanks again for stopping by. If you wish, hit a subscribe button and a like and all that good stuff on the YouTube side. If not, hey, whatever. What I do here is I just talk 30 minutes. I just talk about my life and things I observe, throughout my wanders around this world, right? That's all I talk about, and I share it with you guys. So anyway, sorry seems to be the hardest word, and that's an Elton John song, right? A lyric from an Elton John song. But it is true. I'm sorry for being gone for so long, and I've had some people ask if I'm okay and all that. First of all, yes, I'm okay, except for one thing. My back is jacked up, guys. I decided since I retired, I'm going to start working out. I'm going to try to get in shape, try to shake off the COVID, long haul, and all this wacky stuff that's going around disease-wise. I'm getting older, and I thought, well, I'll hit the gym and I'll start doing things right. So I did hit the gym and everything's been going good for like 6 months, and then all of a sudden, I don't know if I feel like I'm 20 years old again. I don't know. But started messing up my back, just lifting techniques or something. But we're kind of letting that heal up right now. But other than that, life's been good. Just a little rundown on what's been going on with me. Okay. I've been doing some car shows. I'll post some pictures. Done well. I did 4 car shows, and out of 4, I got 3 trophies. 2 for one of my cars and 1 for one of my cars, right? So feel blessed about that. That was great. I did the acoustic show back around June or July, I guess. Maybe the 1st of August, I did an acoustic show on my music side for scleroderma and autoimmune awareness. That was very successful as far as I'm concerned. Did I get a million views or 1,000 views or whatever? I don't know. Not really. A couple hundred maybe, but the response for me was good. I love it. So I'm going to do some more of those acoustic shows coming up in the future. Been working on writing some new tunes. I'm currently doing some work in the studio. That's all I'm going to talk about. It's all original, heartfelt stuff. I'll release that as soon as it's done with videos. And I'm also be actually putting out a couple more new videos by the end of the year. So that's what's been really going on. The wife and I have been doing a little traveling. We've done, 3 trips, and we got 2 more left before the end of the year. So getting ready to take off pretty soon on another pretty long trip, heading south, heading to Florida, Georgia. Hopefully no hurricanes. Mostly just visiting family. Another trip probably out to New Jersey to visit family for a little while. I've been keeping an eye on my mom and dad, keeping up with them. They're older, family stuff. Having get-togethers with my kids, trying to see them when I can. My son has a pretty tough schedule because he works weekends, and it's hard for us to get together, but we try when we can, and they're good visits when we get together, as well as my grandson. But anyway, just family stuff. Hopefully everything's going good with you guys. The summer has just flown by, right? I can't believe it's fall. I mean, I don't know what's happening. I talk about this all the time, how time just keeps going faster. And to add to that, something that's really funny is I mentioned just, I don't know, a couple years ago on one of my podcasts, I talked about how time is just zipping along. And it seems like the older you get, the faster it goes. And it seems like it's been going faster lately. And I had a few comments back from that saying that, well, John, it's not really that the time is actually physically going faster, it's that you're getting older and it's how you perceive time and it has to do with basically aging. That could be true. I don't really know, but I do know this: that scientists just discovered that Mars is actually spinning faster, and that things are starting to speed up. Now, is the Earth spinning faster? Could be. Mars is, right? Also, Mars has got global warming, so the Martians must be running a lot of pollutant cars up there or something. I've talked about that before too. The temperature of Mars is raising as well as the Earth. And I think a lot of this stuff is natural. I just think it's natural. And anyway, thanks again for stopping in. Any thoughts and comments about what I talk about today? Feel free to, you know, talk down there in that box. Anyway, I'm going to talk about this real quick. Anyway, I support this company, or used to. I got mixed feelings about this company. And I'm talking about Black Rifle Coffee Company. I'm going to take a drink of coffee, by the way. Let's do that. Okay, I follow a couple YouTube guys, right? I follow one guy that's a Navy vet that's got a little podcast out there. And all of a sudden, I heard that Black Rifle was getting some heat and controversy with Black Rifle. And I thought, what's going on? I got to check this out. What's wrong with Black Rifle, man? You know, it's a veteran guy started up the company. It's like, I'm all about support, good old USA support. Well, apparently, Black Rifle Coffee Company, the CEO, has had there's been some controversy as far as you know, we got some weird stuff going on behind the scenes, some kind of weird perverted stuff going on from what they're saying. I don't know for a fact. It's just what I'm hearing from these other YouTubers. And supposedly they've been donating to the Biden administration. Okay, they've been donating to Blue, which, you know, whatever you want to do, that's fine. I have no problem with whoever you want to donate to. But these guys were always coming across as being conservative, all-American, not anti-woke, right? The main thing is anti-woke. So if they've been giving money to the Blue, which is pro-woke for the most part, then that goes against what they were campaigning when they launched their company. So I got questions with Black Rifle Coffee Company. Comment below if you know more about the story. Like I said, I haven't really dug in enough to know if all this stuff is factual. They say it is, these other YouTubers, which is, if it is true, it's a damn shame, because I really like Black Rifle Coffee and I've purchased t-shirts and everything, and don't know if I'll stop drinking Black Rifle Coffee. I just don't know at this point. You know, the verdict is still in. Anyway, if you know anything about the Black Rifle stuff, comment below and let me know. But anyway, today I'm drinking, and I like to try out different coffees anyway. Today I'm actually drinking the Shipshewana blend, which is really good. It's the medium roast. And Shipshewana, if you guys don't know where that is, which if you're not from Indiana, you probably don't. It's a little town in northern Indiana that is it's all Amish country. It's Shipshewana. So this is an Amish company that produces coffee. And you know what? The Amish have their controversies too. It seems like everybody does, right? But I support the Amish as well, you know. Another drink of coffee. And, you know, this is also Pro Bass Shops, which I like. Cabela's and Pro Bass Shops. And supposedly they're kind of woke too. So my question is, what isn't woke anymore? You know, I don't like supporting it because I don't like a lot of these agendas. I'm not going to get into it. It's just me personally. You know, I lean more conservative. You know, I'm a Christian, you know, guy, older man. I'm kind of like a rarity in this world today. And I kind of like, I got the idea, like, let people live and let live kind of thing too. But I don't like agendas, especially, I don't know, without getting into it too much. I just don't like I don't like an agenda pushed down people, you know, forced on people, any kind of agenda. Like, you know, I don't really have agendas, but if I did I have certain agendas, I guess, or certain beliefs. But I don't shove any of my ideas and what I like and what I don't like down people. You know, I don't force feed it. And I think with the woke thing and all that stuff, it's just gotten too carried away. A lot of the world's problems have been, just gotten out of whack, carried away. Anyway, we'll talk a little bit about that. But getting back to happier stuff, summer's going pretty good. Well, it did go pretty good. It's gone now. Now we're going into fall. So I plan on going down south here in a little shortly, and hopefully, the trip is good. I pray it's good. Car shows were great, successful. We only had rain on one, and it didn't really bother us that much. And I got a trophy out of that one. So to kind of back up in a little history, I'm a Mustang guy. I have a 2006 GT that I've dolled up a little bit. I won't go into all the detail. That won me 2 trophies this year. And I have a 1969 Mach 1. If you've seen the movie John Wick, or Vic, or whatever they call it, you guys know which one. 69 Mach 1, my car resembles that car in that movie quite a bit. I put it in 2 shows. I put the blue car in 2 shows, the 06 and the 69, both in 2 shows each. I won one with the 69 Mach 1. Got top 20 on that one, which was fun. The only reason why I didn't win the other show because it was in Carmel, Indiana, and they were literally 20 vehicles that were over $1 million a piece. And it's hard. It's hard for me to compete with that. I just can't do it. But car shows were fun this year, guys. That's what I've been doing. And I'll get into my music thing towards the end of it. I usually don't like to cross-pollinate my music with the podcast, but this is more of an update on what's been going on with me. In case y'all interested, I don't know who'd be interested, but I don't know, maybe somebody. I don't know. Another drink of coffee. It's fun to get older, I'll say that. For you folks out there that are watching that are a little bit older, like maybe my age or a little bit younger maybe, it's fun to get older because everything is just not the same. I actually wrote a song about it called Older. And man, I've been feeling it. I mean, for the most part, I feel pretty good. But man, I tell you what, it just things, like I said, going to the gym, thinking I'm 20 years old, a lot of young people, and I'm in there, I can lift that stuff, and then I'm paying for it later, right? It's just like, wow. Somebody used to tell me, I used to work with, said, getting older is not for sissies. And that's so true, right? So true. Anyway, let's get on with the talking notes here. So let's talk a little bit about what I saw yesterday. So yesterday I was out doing a little running around. I had to renew the plates for the cars, had to do all this stuff. So I was out running around and I noticed something that was pretty funny. It was actually pretty, and I say kind of funny, but yet kind of sad in a way too. There's this big bus, right? Like a tour bus, and it's a nice bus. And I kind of noticed it was driving down the road. I said, it's got this wacky picture of Joe Biden, like he's going like this, all weird looking face and everything. So I kind of looked over at the bus real quick, and the bus says, Joe's Got to Go Tour. That's what's said on the bus, Joe's Got to Go Tour. All I got to say is, without getting into the political stuff, is that we have a pretty screwed up, and we're pretty embarrassing to the world right now. We are, guys. I mean, whether you're left, you lean left, right, somewhere in the middle, it's embarrassing. The whole thing's embarrassing. We are the laughing stock of the world. And it's sad that when you got tour buses parading around saying, Joe's got to go, you're president. I'm not happy with him. When he got elected, I thought, okay, yeah, I give everybody a fair shot. But I mean, you look at what's going on. Without getting into it, you guys know, even if you voted for him, it's pretty sad. Our choices of leadership is pretty sad. That's all I got to say about it. It's sad that, people are investing all these money into buses that are campaigning against, trying to get the president out of there, which, I mean, in some ways I get it. If it was me, I'd have them all out of there and start over again. But it's just messed up. That's all I got to say. It's messed up, right? I pray, and seriously pray, for this country and this world. It's I talk about it a lot, maybe too much, but it is true. I try to go on, live my life, and ignore these things that happen. But like I said, yesterday I'm just driving, running some errands, and see this bus. So it's right there. People are really starting to express themselves on one end or the other, and sometimes it's okay to express yourselves, but sometimes when it's coming and it's really getting heated, that's not good. It's like a time bomb, right? Getting ready to go off. It's kind of scary. And like I said, I just try to live my humble, life and do what I can and try to enjoy myself while I can, while I got time on this planet. And these things just happen, just pop up, and you just never know. There's so much crazy, wacky, hateful stuff going on. I saw a video. Well, a couple of YouTubers I follow. I'll tell you real quick. I follow the Officer Tandem. Yeah, black gentleman that has a podcast. He's a former police officer. His is pretty interesting. He showed a video of these two black guys, two black young kids. I guess they were. That's what he said. And this guy, older guy my age, retired sheriff, and I don't know if they knew. I don't know the whole story. And this is pretty recent, but he was just riding his bicycle, and they deliberately hit him, and I think killed him. And there's so many things like that going on now. Is that I don't know. I'm friends with everybody. I give everybody a fair shake. I got neighbors. I got neighbors across the street from me that he's an African American gentleman. She's white. Get along with him real well. Interracial couples get along with them real well. I got lesbians and that I'm friends with here, and anyway, I'm friends with everybody, and I just don't see. And they may not agree with me on my Christian values or whatever, but that's fine. But I just don't have. There's no room for the hate. There's no room for people to be running over people like that. It's just that's disturbing. And that leads me to my next talking point is difficulty in relationships. You guys ever have that difficulty in relationships? Now, personally, my relationships are pretty good. Thankfully, I have a really good relationship with my wife. There's way too much divorce today. There's way too much. People just aren't getting married. And people getting married for the wrong reasons. That's all I'm going to say about it. People are marrying the wrong people, whatever. So it causes difficulty in relationships in general. And I'm just going to briefly talk about what I'm getting at with this whole thing. Relationships are tough, no matter if it's a friend or spouse or whatever, just relationships in general. I try to communicate and try to open up to people, and I like to share, like with this podcast. I like sharing what's going on with me, and I really want to listen to other people. And some people are really, really good listeners and really act like they really care about your well-being, and we interact really well. We really want to know how the other person's doing. We really care about our brothers and sisters, right? And I say that in a term of everybody's my brothers and sisters. We really care about people. We got that crowd, right? That really honestly care about how other people are doing. I'll use an example. I got a really good friend of mine. I've known him since second grade. We've done music projects together, and we did a podcast together years ago called Out of the Box with John and Tony. And his name's Tony, and Tony lives out in Las Vegas. We don't talk every day, but we make a point to talking to each other and keeping in touch and letting you know and just make sure we're doing okay. How you doing? How's your life out there? How's your life here? And the other day he called me, and I appreciate that. We call back and forth and just kind of just check on and see how we're doing. That's good. That's good relationship communication. One thing that's always drove me crazy, if I reach out to my friends or relatives or whatever, and I reach out to them and there's no response back, that just drives me bonkers. I love everybody. You know what I mean? It's never going to change my thoughts or feelings, but I just feel like, and I told Tony when he called me, to kind of back up a little bit, I said, we need to keep in touch with each other more often, because I always use that excuse. People use that excuse. I've used that excuse in the past too. This excuse, is life gets in the way. Well, and I told him, I said, I've used that excuse before too, and I don't like that anymore. Life gets in the way. It only takes you 10 seconds. Everybody's glued to this thing anyway, right? It takes you 10 seconds to text somebody, how you doing? How's it going? It doesn't take that long to do that. I'm always checking on my mother and father, checking on my brother, check on my kids. I always make an effort to do that myself. And what drives me bonkers about it is I don't always get the responses back that I feel like I should get. And I had this conversation with my wife the other day, and I've done some soul searching. Let me know if you guys feel the same way. I've done some soul searching on, am I doing the right thing by reaching out all the time and not everybody reaching out to me, or I'm not getting the same responses back as I give out, And is that a problem or not? And I look at it as that bugged me for a while. But anymore, I'm just, going to continue to reach out and they reach back. That's fine, whatever. But I just think it's good practice as a human being, for one, to kill the hate. Hate is terrible. Not going to be running some dude over just because he's older or whatever, or getting a kick out of doing it. You guys need to stop doing that crap, right? That's evil. That's bad. There's no, what does it serve, really? What are you proving, Everybody, I'll tell you, I've told you this before, whether you believe it or not. For sure, you're going to die eventually. Everybody's going to die. There's no way you're going to get out of that one. And whether you believe it or not, when you die, your soul carries on, and you're going to have to answer to the Creator. You're going to be evaluated for your life, so just keep that in mind for all the shenanigans you do here. And whether you believe that or not, that's up to you. But one thing that you got to believe is you are going to die someday. So, you might want to think about what you're doing here. So it's good to not be hateful, right? I mean, it sounds pretty basic, but man, gosh, there's so many people that are just not doing it. Don't have double standards. Just be a good citizen. I'm not saying you have to be, a saint, but be a good citizen in the world. If someone reaches out to you, check in on people once in a while. Say, hey, how you doing? Haven't heard from you for a while. You doing okay? I appreciate people that do that. I really do. So it's just kind of one of my talking notes today. It's difficult in relationships. Like, people get married, they can't solve their problems. I would just get a divorce. It's like disposable life. It's like the whole world's disposable. I don't like this anymore. Just throw this away in the trash and go get another one. It's too much of that, right? Okay, next talking point real quick, guys. The big bad COVID, right? I'm not going to elaborate on COVID because I think COVID has done enough damage, and I could go on for literally hours. I could do a whole seminar on COVID because I've had it 3 times. I have long haul COVID. Yes, there is such a thing as COVID. Yes, they don't know everything about COVID. Yes, we kind of know where it came from. All these things. And yes, is it still here? Yes. Is it ever going to go away? Probably not. As long as they keep jacking with the Mother Nature, it's never going to go away. That's in a long shell. That's in a long, the end of the story, right? In a nutshell. There you go. It's in a nutshell. Okay. Do we need to use COVID-19 as a political tactic? No. Are they going to start doing that? Yes. And if you don't believe me, just look around. Do we need to shut everything down because of COVID? No. It's like the flu. You don't shut everything down because we have the flu. COVID's basically going to be like the flu, guys. It's like the flu. It's the same. It's a new flu. It's another flu. It's an additional flu, whatever you want to call it. Okay? If you have stomach ache or something, you don't shut down the businesses. You don't have to worry about it. And it cracks me up, I worked in healthcare for 40 years. I was in it during the thick of the COVID when it first came out, right? I'm just going to say this. The masks don't do nothing. I used to think the mask helped a little bit, but they don't. I worked in a hospital. I had the shots. I wore a mask every day. I did everything you're supposed to do, scrub my hands, all that. I got COVID 3 times. 3 times. Unless like I said, unless you're wearing a spacesuit, you're going to get COVID. It may help you from getting blasted of a lot of other viruses at one time, right? But people wearing masks in their car, seeing masking up going in Kroger, no one else is wearing a mask. I don't know. If you want a mask, that's fine. But I tell you what, the pamper on your face is, the little pamper thing that's opened up here, and it's not going to do anything. I mean, I've wore a mask when I'm painting cars, and I've doubled up the mask and stuff. And guess what? I can still smell the paint fumes coming through that dude, even if triple masking, right? Viruses are a lot smaller than paint particles, man. I'm telling you, it's going to get through. That's all I got to say about that. So the COVID thing coming up, and they get, oh, you got to wear a mask and all this shit. Pardon my language. It's a farce. Wear a mask if you want. That's freedom. When they start mandating things, they're taking away your freedoms, and I go about that for a long time too. So don't let them do it, guys. And my next talking point was keep positive vibes, right? Let's keep positive vibes. If you're sick, with COVID, you don't feel very good, just stay home for a few days. Don't go out and spread it around. That's the best way. Just stay home a little bit. Now, you don't have to lock yourself down, but stay home for a couple of days. Send out for Grubhub or Uber Eats or something like that, right? All right, guys, it's good to be back. I'm not really just ranting and raving, but just making some points. And allergy season's high, man. My sinuses are jacked right now. But I'm pretty sure it's not COVID. And one last thing I got to say about COVID too is they found this out. I just found this out recently. That they said it affects it affects your respiratory and all that stuff, which it does. It affects a lot of things. But the one thing you got to watch is it affects your blood. It's mega clot in your blood because the spike proteins are causing your red blood cells to clump together and hook together and clump. And that's not good. So it's jacking up, basically, in layman's terms, the protein spikes, okay, are causing red blood cell issues. If you don't believe me, just look it up. And there's doctors out there that are discovering this stuff now, and they know what they're talking about. All right, so if you fear COVID and stuff, take some aspirin, blood thinner a little bit, because it jacks with your blood, which messes up your organs, right? That's what COVID's doing internally, right? And anyway, we're going to sum it up on a happy note. I don't normally like to cross-pollinate my music thing, because in case you guys don't know, I'm a musician, been one for a long time. I'm an older musician now. I'm still doing it for as long as I physically can move these hands. And as long as I got a desire for music, I'm still going to try to write and do something with it. So right now, as far as the music goes, I'm a solo artist. I mean, and I'm okay with that. I'm a solo artist. I'm okay with that. I've been in a lot of projects. The last big project was with the Crossroads Saints. We wrapped up that album. It's out there if you guys want to check it out. We're real happy with all the bass playing in my contribution to that project. Now turned the page, and now it's me. I'm back to doing solo writing, which I did before, and I've always done it in between any kind of band I've been in. So I'm not in a band, but I'm just writing music. So I'm in the middle of writing a couple things right now. Like I said, I'll release that. One of them is very heartfelt that I'm doing. That's all I'm going to say about it. It's real heartfelt. And going to put some videos with it. But anyway, going to be launching a new website. I'll keep you posted on that. You'll have everything that I've ever done on the website and new stuff. I'm going to have a little bit of merch in case anybody's ever interested in that stuff, and hard CDs to buy. And, of course, on Apple and all that stuff will be on there. But I'm really excited about being able to do my solo stuff. And I'll tell you why. A couple reasons. I love working with other people. Don't get me wrong. And the people I've worked with, they're great musicians. They're great songwriters. They're good people. But the nice thing is when you're writing stuff on your own, it's just it's freedom, basically, and it's scheduling. And so I can schedule when I want. If I feel like doing something, I will. If I don't, I'm not committed to having to do something with another project or with another artist. I can just, especially at my age, I can just take a break if I want to, or if I want to ramp it up, I can. So I'm not leaning and dependent on somebody else. So that's the nice thing about being a solo artist. I can get in, I can write demos, and I can take off with it. I can do my own guitar parts, my own bass parts. It's just basically freedom in general, where scheduling freedom, artistic freedom. So it's nice to be able to do solo stuff again. And it's also the main thing, I guess, with being a solo artist now is the challenge. I love the challenge because when you're co-writing, and I'm still co-writing some with other people, but when you're co-writing or in a band situation, it's almost, well, you have to if someone's writing a tune, you got to kind of do it for them, and you have to make sure your creative ideas jive with what they want, So if you're doing it solo, it's like my creative ideas are my creative ideas, and I give myself an okay. It's either okay or it's not, but I have to be the judge of that. Where if you're doing something with another artist, it's like a marriage. You have to, you got to compromise, or you got to make sure it's what they want. So, and that can be kind of stressful sometimes because you feel like I said, you're on a schedule. Everybody's trying to coordinate schedules. It can be kind of rough. Not that I didn't enjoy it or don't enjoy it, in the future. But it's just kind of nice. It's nice now at this stage of my life that I can be back to doing solo stuff, and I'm anxious to share it with you guys. Anyway, I'm going to get off here. Thanks again for stopping by. I'm sorry I've been gone for so long. I said that the last time. I'm going to try not to be gone as long. I do have some guests planned. But I tell you what, I've just been ramping up the music too. That's another reason why I've been out. Before I actually close, the one particular tune I've been working on it for over a year and a half. And I just couldn't really get it together. And finally, it came together. So I felt urgency to get going on it. So we're getting going on it. So that's the reason why I've been away from the podcast for a while, because I've been, besides all the stuff I just talked about for the last 25 minutes, getting back on the music. But anyway, thanks again for stopping by, guys. If you're up in Shipshewana, Indiana, grab this. If you're a coffee drinker, let me know what you think about Black Rifle Coffee. What's going on with that company? I don't know. Let me know. I don't know exactly what's going on. I'm always hearing the hearsay stuff. And real quick before I go, I discovered some new YouTubers that I highly recommend. Nick's Garage, if you're a car guy or gal, Nick's Garage, check him out. He's an older guy. He has a garage in Canada. Great show. Nick's Garage. Another one is Vice Grip Garage. I love Vice Grip Garage. Derek and his wife. Derek is hilarious. Oh, even if you're not a car guy, check out Vice Grip Garage, guys. Just look it up on YouTube. Vice Grip Garage. Derek, if you're watching, keep that show going. I like, also, if you like the outdoors and camping, of course, I already talked about Sean James, My Self-Reliance, but we're looking at Luke's channel. Luke, the outdoor gear review guy, outdoor gear review. Check him out, Luke's channel. He's great. Anyway, if you guys get chances, that's just a few of them that I've been checking out lately. Y'all have a good one. We'll talk to you when I get back. Probably when I get back from a break. I may share I may share a little bit of my trip, my next trip. So, God bless y'all. You guys take care. Thanks for listening to me, Gab, for 30 minutes. I'm Johnny Allen, the Johnny Allen 30-minute podcast. I'm out of here. Catch you next time. The Lord willing.